Hello and welcome back to our channel where we speak all about trading analysis, the futures analysis of trading, and actual plans of what we are looking to do, the psychology and the importance of understanding that it's not supposed to be very complicated or very hard to trade and understand the markets. We actually will go over some of the boring stuff that long term will work very well for us. Okay, so if you have any questions, any compliments, comments, or anything that you want us to cover more, we will be more than happy to see those comments in the comment section. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel, so then every time we come out with new plans, new trades, and new analysis, you potentially can capitalize on that as well. And more importantly, learn from the mistakes, learn from some of the successes that we have as well. And this video actually will be very special. It will be reviewing the trades that we did take, the stuff that we did right, the stuff that we did wrong, and some of the lessons that we learned, so we can share that with you as well to shorten that gap for you. So I will share my screen, okay, and we basically will start with going to some of the trades that we took, okay, and again, those trades were higher time frame swing type of trades. Why do I say that? Because you see, we would enter, let's say, somewhere here, and then it would go all along until really broke above that balanced area, and we capitalize on that, and had a great profit. So I will go over what we really saw here, why we enter into that trade, and what we learned from that. Okay, so what happened? This trade basically had a couple of drop, very massive gap downs. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, and we basically just looked at analysis to understand. Okay, where was a great resistance area, support and resistance area. So this was our support area, and it's important to look at a large time frame. Otherwise, if you are at a small time frame, you just see here, no matter how much you will go, you will not see the same picture as clear as when you look at a higher time frame. It's easier to see what's really happening, downtrend, uptrend, support and resistance, key levels, and all of that stuff. Okay, so we see that there is a resistance area here. We see that there is a 50% drop from 50% Fibonacci drop here. Okay, so we're basically looking from the low before the drop to the high from the drop. Okay, and then we're deciding to put a 50% Fibonacci. Okay, and we enter somewhere in here based on actually understanding where there would be potential entry level for us here. Okay, so somewhere here we looking at that and we're saying let's enter here. Then the market gives us also historical data of trend line that we can see very well that it came here to that trend line based on historical data. Okay, and it's been respected very well. But then what happened? We had a new trend line that was formatted right here. Okay, in theory, if I take this trend line and I give it to go to the back, it's not really matching here. But what happened here? We have a new trend line, and when our first entry was basically somewhere here at 55.49, and then what happened? I saw that it touched here the trend line, so I knew that now it had to go up. Okay, so I entered another 100 shares here, which honestly, if I make the right conversions based on my risk to reward, I would be able to enter with much more lots. And that's the important part, to understand that you need to manage your understanding of how many lots are entering and how many shares entering and how many shares are exiting. So in theory, my first entry was in this area of 55, 58, something like that, and then I entered another 100 shares in this area by the trend line. In theory, I could have entered more, okay, and I didn't. So that's not a big deal. What I did then, I actually brought my average entry to basically 54.89. So as I did that, it was very good for me. Why? Because then, okay, instead of having to wait up to here, I actually start to have profits from here. What I did wrong, okay, a bit after I sold 100 shares. So I didn't really held it for enough. Once it's break even, I sold it, and I didn't held enough to potentially make more profits, and I could sell a little 50, okay, and have more shares run. I didn't. Now, what happened? So that's lesson number one for me, and potentially for you to understand that when it comes back to the break even, you can sell little percentage and keep the rest. And when it's at 1-to-1 risk to reward, you can sell half of your position if you wish to. So then you can move your stop loss to break even. Okay. Then I knew that the moment it will pass this large wick, it will have a very great momentum to move to the upward, up 50%, 50% Fibonacci. Now I knew that, and I needed to exit here fully, but I didn't. Okay, I didn't. What happened instead of that? I actually moved my stop loss to 59.80. Okay, and what happened? I was executed at 60.31. So I was executed somewhere here, okay, the following day. Not sure why. I don't know why. I needed to call the broker to figure out. I didn't have the time to do that, but that's what basically happened there. And that's basically as a recap on this trade. Now, what we can do, we can definitely come here, and we can basically go from here all the way to here to really understand where are we trading the most type of volume. So we can see that the most volume would be in this area right here, okay, and there was very large volume here protecting the trend line. So that's very good for us. What we want to understand then, that in this area, the market currently think that it's the fair market value. Okay, so it's important to understand that, because when we are here, if we have potential support and resistance, supply and demand, or any type of other type of confirmation, we can definitely take long. Let's look here at another few things to see if we have another potential entry. So we have this one, but I don't know if we would enter that one. It's not bad because it's of the high for from the gap down. Okay, which we have here a zone, but let's see if we have anything else. And you can see how the price holds here, and the market thinks that it's fair value, so it holds there. Very interesting. I want to say that potentially there is this zone. This zone of 1 hour. So we might potentially look for a correction down to there, and then basically an up from here. Okay, now let's look at the next Next symbol, we have this one, but this one we are actually been very much swing trading. Once it will come to the area of $10 and 12 cents, $10.10, something like that, I would look to add more to my position and have hold more, because I think my average entry was about $13 or $12, so that's a bit higher. But this is something that actually Warren Buffett is holding, and that tells you that if you're looking to trade and like enter into a trade with no analysis, you can see you would lose a fortune if you don't do your own analysis. Because what happened, for the fact to see that Warren Buffett is holding it, and you think, okay, let me just enter, potentially you will be losing a lot of money if you don't do your own analysis, because it's on a crazy downtrend, like crazy. So it's important to do your analysis. Then we have here, okay, this one we didn't trade that as of yet. We just did some analysis, which it clearly shows that there is a new high. This 1 hour was swiped out. There is a new high on that. Okay, so that's the new high. There was that. It was I don't know what the heck is that, but there is so many gaps up, gaps down. It's crazy. Let's see, that's on a 20, respected by 20. The moment it breaks below the 20, potentially we can see a big, massive move to the downside. Here, we're looking to play something along those lines here. So you can see, actually, let me just see something. So you see now it's in a balance area. Okay, so you can see it's in a balance area. The moment it breaks from this one of the sides, we will potentially see a big move one side or another. So you can see here also. See, it's broke and just had a massive move from a balance to imbalance to finding this new balance area. So that's important to understand. There was here also balance, imbalance, then back to the balance. So that was a bit harder to look at, but here is another one, balance to imbalance. So that's important to understand. So what we have here, we have here cross. So the blue is under. Okay. 1 second. I just want to check this other trade. Now here, some people will be telling you how there is some like, like some type of, like type of algorithm, not algorithm, but veg or whatever it is. Okay, I don't even know, because I don't trade based on that to really tell you what to experience from that. But more or less what you will be able to see, there is those two lines that potentially has to somehow be respected. So once it breaks from one of them, it will be a massive move. But I honestly don't trade like that. I don't understand so much of that system, so I can't speak about that so much. So here we are nowhere near yet to our zone. Here, that was an interesting one. Okay, so what happened? I had here long. I had here a long, okay, and it clearly didn't work out. Then it came back, made the move higher. So this was the support and resistance area. So you can see the balance area here, and then it's broke below to imbalance. Now, what happened? I didn't short here, but I did take a long here. Okay, and as I did take a long here, all of a sudden, what happened? Came all of a sudden that my entry was at 44.11. I was like, wait, what? How is that possible? Look how much higher is that, right? It's from all the way from here to here. And I called actually Interactive Brokers because that's who I'm using. And they told me that because I already had a trade and it was a losing trade, and now I have a new trade that is profitable. So because there is profit and there was already losses and it's within the same month, so we have a wash sale. So what it is basically for tax purposes that we don't need to have that gain, loss, and whatnot. We will have only the gains over the losses if that's what we are experiencing. And basically, for tax purposes, it will be better for us. So that was the case with that trade. We also had another trade. Wow, look here how it's came to this zone. Very good. What it is with zone, it's 3 hours. 3 hours. So potentially can move lower now. Okay. And basically here also it will be something that I would want to go and just do like that and try to see why. $68 input tick number. So now potentially we will want to see it coming down here. Okay, so that's what we potentially will see. So we'll look to take a short trade. Okay. This was the more volume type of a number in between this one day. So to such area here. What would be our confirmations would be higher low. So we have a higher low, higher low, higher low, and this new higher low. And then it will be this zone, second confirmation. Third confirmation, it's in the upper 50% Fibonacci. So we do need to put here, let me just see here. Our entry will be 536.75. Good till cancel. Stop loss. We want to take 2 lots. Our stop loss will be 5372. 5372.25. Okay, so now we are putting a limit order, which is not an aggressive order. And then we basically will be cleaning those stuff out. And we'll be reviewing, let's see. So here also balance, going to imbalance, but then the move breaks below here. So important to understand this concept. Also, there might be an event. Okay. Actually, let me have one entry here. With that, and then the second entry I will do here, risking $3. So it will be total of $100, $50. So I can make 2 here. And 1 there. I need to change the stop loss. Modify. This will be 74.5. 0.5. $74.5. In theory, now I can fill here and put my stop loss above that. Let me see. One moment. Also, the VIX moving down. That will move up. Now it's moving up. Yeah, need to sell one more limit at 50% of that. So it's one at 5371. Good till cancel. Stop loss. My stop loss will be 174. 5374.5. Slide. Okay. Now we just want to do that to make sure we can actually then know what would be our total risk to reward. Oh, here it's actually no. So we need to bring it lower. We need it somewhere here. So total risk to reward will be over 2.5. And we are risking pretty much 3.5 plus 6. So 6. And what we can do also, we can open ES. So also what we want to look at, it's the ES bookmap. So at 5370, we have over 350 lots. So 2 lots were filled. Now, what's important to understand, it's what you are thinking, what you are feeling during the trade. Okay, many times people would be like all of a sudden nervous, thinking, okay, I have to exit. Oh, it's at break even, and start to have their fear and worry. Okay, or when they see red, all of a sudden they more worry. But it's important to make sure that you don't. Okay, you just be calm and understand that it's gonna move where it's gonna move regardless. Okay, so what happened? Number one, not so important to look at your P&L because then you will panic for no reason. Okay, and what we see that we have more aggressive orders buying the limit order that are in place, and I see more limit order at 5375. Fairly large lot. So I will show you what I'm looking at. It's basically the live on YouTube, okay? Because I don't have a think and swing or whatever it is as my trading platform, which I should definitely get, but at the moment I just don't have that. So I'm looking at that, and what we are seeing. Some momentum on the upside. In a way, we wanted to go to our third lot. So then it fills us in, and we have potentially another lot that is playing for us and bringing our average entry to the middle somewhat, even though actually a bit lower than that because it's two lots here, one lot here, so it will bring it to a bit lower than that, and then we'll have profits faster, even though my stop loss here, it's very tight. It's fairly very tight, but it's okay. So there is starting to be aggressive buying. Now, what happened many times, you see, let's say an example, we're risking here $200 or $100, okay? And all of a sudden it starts to be green. Many people right away think, okay, I need to exit. because now that it's green, so then what happened? You are risking, let's say, $100 to potentially make $8. So it's very, very bad from the risk to reward perspective. So it's more important that you let your trade develop and run. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if we understand that we are risking here, let's say 7 points, okay, so only when it's at the positive of 7 points for our trade, so right now it's 2 points, 1.5 points, okay, only when it's at another 7 points, you can recoup one lot and move your stop loss to break even, to your entry point. So it's important to understand that, because otherwise you are not letting your trade develop and you are rushing into positions. So volume, we have delta per bar. We're starting to have pressure on for the downside. More bulls step in. Bears step in and push volume to the downside, and we will see, because we do have volume more in this area. So the market will want to come back somewhere here, to somewhere in this area. So in this area, I would take one lot, or regain this one lot here. Roughly at 5363, we have a fair amount of lots going there. So we should be able to see that either hit it or breaks below important area. Right now we do have more on a delta side. What is the delta? It's how many we have buy, like actual people that wanted to go up, and how many lots we have people that wanted to go down, and then basically the difference in between that. So we do have more people that wanted to go down at the moment. However, you can see it's not really moving much. Okay, so it's not really moving much. This one I will move a bit because unnecessary at the moment. Unless it will fill it in, I will not put it in there. So it's a waiting game. Sometimes you might wait a day, sometimes you might wait 2 days. Like this one will wait, basically it's filled in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 day it came to the positive side. I still didn't take profits on that. I took some, but not everything. Why? Because I'm expecting it to go to the 20-day moving averages or one of the 50 days moving averages, test that, and then I take the profit. Also, you will see here potentially more confirmations. So you can see that once it will hit this orange line, also can give a signal of a buy. Look, the same thing 2 days in a row. Same thing. Wow. This one, new all-time high today. Usually when it's at a new all-time high, you will see potentially a rejection, like you see here. new high, rejection, massive rejection. So, but that there is a little diversion here because this has lower high higher low, and here you see higher highs. So there is some type of diversion that will show for an aggressive move. What type of a move exactly? We are yet to see. So there's more buyers at the moment. Yeah, you can see, but more sellers stepping in right now. More sellers. So you see how it would hold, and then start to move to more towards where the market think the value is fair for the price. So that's moving lower. That will give us confirmation that it's potentially moving higher on here. And why you also understand that it's psychological? Because as it's moving down, all of a sudden started to move up. Now, most people would think, okay, once it's moved down again, I will take profit. Because come on, like it was already in profit. Why didn't I take profit? Now it's in the negative. But it doesn't mean anything, okay? Because that's how people would step out. And once they step out, all of a sudden it moves to their direction. So important to know to hold your position. Today the market was fairly red on the day. You can see here, Tesla had a massive drop there. That's crazy how that Tesla happened. GameStop had a great rally. I will be happy to have my third lot fill and start going downwards. That would be great. Which is very close. It's actually I see it hitting. I can see it hitting. Going on it downwards. And Q. Also, you can see how it's moving up. If it will hit this trend line, that would be wow. Wait. Crazy, okay. A lot of lots are sitting in the 5370 right here. A lot of lots are in there, but price has to balance to come into this zone. We'll have to. Maybe not gonna happen today, but will have to happen in one of the, next, either today's session or tomorrow's session. And it can happen at any moment. Like all of a sudden can, have a massive move to the up or downside. Doesn't matter. Okay, you see how an aggressive move that was, that we were filled. Now my stop loss, my stop loss is intact, but there was a big order come in, very big order that came in. And 5326, 63, 63, quick will cancel. So we want to buy one order here. In theory, it's showing that there is some activity on 7.5 area. So I need to see what's coming up there. See how volume is starting to develop in this area too. Not yet here, but there is a lot of volume. They're not coming certain if it's more to the good or bad, and it's pretty quiet in terms of aggressive orders. Just playing around there. Now let me quickly calculate my average entry. So it will be sure. It would be five, 367, 175, 5, 367.75. Let me see. So, like I'm feeling maybe I need to move my stop loss by 2 ticks, which will be 70.5. Like meaning 1 point overall on my chart. But let's see what's coming. Okay. Times 2 plus 5371 equal divide by 3. That's how I was supposed to do it. So my 68. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that it will go there. Might go by 1 up. This is my average entry. See, it's going 1 up, 1. Let's see what's coming from here. No. Ooh, 75, you see, on 75, it's holding there because there were a lot of sellers. So let's see what comes out now, if it's gonna continue moving up or not. Now what we want to see is based on these 3 hours, right? If it's going to retest, so then we want to buy long with a very tight risk to reward. So on this trade, we lost $88. And you see how exactly 75, and it's starting to move downwards. Now, it might go more up, but for now, that's what we see. Okay, so we will recap on this and what we will do. We will see what comes out of this. Of course, we'll make a journal about this trade to see what I did right, what I did wrong, what worked for me and what didn't. So that way, for future reference, I will be able to make sure that actually, overall, I'm improving, because that's the most important thing. As you can see, it's at 75, which I did see to put there above by 1 or 2 ticks my stop loss. However, I didn't because, I don't like to all of a sudden change my stop loss. So then, I'm changing my plan, which on here, really, there is not too big of a plan. The long was supposed to start somewhere here because we were looking at that is above this high from a trend line that I had as well, okay, which been trading very well for multiple occasions. You can see that, but I didn't take that because I wasn't by my computer at that time. I was watching it from my phone, so not as comfortable to do positions from the phone if you don't have a plan in advance. Yeah, that's on that trade. I will journal about that. I will see what happening and how we can capitalize on another future trade in the ones to come. And that's why it's important also from the risk to reward perspective. This risk right here for me cost me $88, okay, to potentially make anywhere between $9 here, so basically $23 on 3, so potentially make like close to, 1 second, I tell you, 22 times 5 times 3, so potentially make on average $345. So 345 to risk $88. So that was a fair type of a risk for such a return. So basically, I can do this at least 7 times, and 3 times of my trading be right, and I still will be profitable. That's the importance to understand how to manage your risk to reward. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned some things from the other analysis that I had and from this trade. Again, such trade, it's not the highest probability, but still it's a trade that I took live, and I'm happy that had the potential to share with you a trade on a on a live recording. Thank you, and see you in the next one.